want to look at a little bit about some of the successes that we've had during this past year, from about this time last year around to this, so that we can see really what a vibrant place this university is. And we'll start with a few student successes. Here we go. Anne Strom was recently named by the College Reading and Learning Association the 2016 Outstanding Tutor Award. She has worked in our Academic Learning Center for several years. She just graduated and is now a teacher in the Des Moines area, but many hours working with students, especially in the reading program, and helping them improve their reading skills. And Casey Hoekstra is the 2016 Employee of the Year for the state of Iowa, as well as UNI. She also worked in the Academic Learning Center. She put in over 290 hours in the Learning Center and impacted more than 800 students as a coach and tutor in our Academic Learning Center. Just outstanding young woman. Casey, fortunately, graduated and decided to work on a master's degree here, so we get to keep her talents around for just a little bit longer. We were just notified, I think Friday, it must have been Thursday of last week, because I was still in town. So it must have been Thursday of last week that Christina Kofut was named to the Tom Harkin Excellence in AmeriCorps Award for Most Compelling Member Experience. Christina is a master's degree student here in Leisure, Youth, and Human Services, but she's also our AmeriCorps Vista volunteer, and she's played a central role in the service learning projects, helping faculty find service learning projects, develop those service learning projects, and she's played a key role in the development of the Service Learning Institute here on campus. So Christina's done a wonderful job with that. Rachel Johnson, many of you know, she's in her senior year, her fourth year here as an elementary education major. She will graduate this spring. She is also on the Board of Regents. As many of you know, that's how most of us have come to know her, is from her regent presentations and representation there. But this year she was named one of the Truman Scholars, one of the highest honors, scholarship honors, national scholarship honors that a student can receive. As part of this, she'll receive $30,000 towards her graduate education, essentially being able to get a master's degree for free as long as she picks the right institution. There are some that are a little higher than that. But the Truman Scholars Program really is intended to honor those students who are going to dedicate their lives to public service. And Rachel is looking at getting into higher education, public higher education at some point. She's still kind of working through the transition, what she wants to do, where she wants to go to graduate school, but she really would like to work in public higher education and help serve the public in that way. We had a few successes amongst our athletes as well, our student athletes. I emphasize students, and you'll see why. Let me talk about Brandon Carnes first. He was been here for 4 years. He's an outstanding track athlete. In his 4 years of competition, he won the 100-meter dash and the 200-meter dash, indoor and outdoor, his freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. A 16-time conference champion. 16-time. There are very few athletes that have ever done something of that sort. He was named sort of because of that. He was an All-American at the NCAA meet this year, but because of that, he was named the 2017 Midwest Athlete of the Year, not just our conference Athlete of the Year, but the Midwest Athlete of the Year. Just an outstanding performance on the track. Outstanding young man. He's an art major as well. The UNI swimming and diving team this year posted a combined GPA of 3.71, and that ranked them number 2 in the country among all Division I swim programs. The only, congratulations. The other program that beat them was only at 3.77, so we know what the goal is. We know what we need to do to hit it. That was Brown University, one of the Ivy League institutions. I want to talk just a little bit about Angie Davison. Angie was a senior on our basketball team this past year, a point guard. Just did a phenomenal job on the court. But where she really made her reputation is off the court. She's an education major, and Cheryl and I have both talked to her about basketball and also about her major. She's wants to be a junior high science teacher. When you talk with her about basketball, she talks about basketball. When she talks about being a science teacher and helping kids open their minds, she comes alive. And her whole demeanor changes. It's wonderful to talk with her about what she wants to do with young people and help them understand their futures as well as how to better understand the natural world through science. Angie also gives of herself tremendously, and for that reason, she was named to the 2017 All-State Women's Basketball Coaches Association Good Works team. She's been involved in just about any volunteer program you can think of. She's worked for UNI and their Ed Leadership program, giving her time to students. She's worked in the program at UNIQ that helps students who need help figuring out finances and figuring out that they could go to college, get some financial literacy, understand what it would mean to them if they could go to college while they're still young, and help them understand their future. She's given her time to the girls' clubs, boys and girls' clubs. She's given her time to New Aldea. She's given her time to Salvation Army. She works with Campus, not Campus Crusade for Christ. It's the other one. Let me look. I'll find it. Fellowship for Christian Athletes. There isn't anything she has. Currently student teaching in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. She is originally from Minnesota and is very excited to be student teaching as we talk. Just an outstanding young woman. Great to have her in the Panther family, and what a wonderful award. This award was given in Dallas at the NCAA Women's Final Four. All of the people on the team got to also devote some time volunteering in the Dallas area while they were there. And as Angie said, that was the highlight of her trip to Dallas, as you would expect once you get to know Angie. So congratulations to Angie and Brandon and to the UNI Swimming and Diving. One other thing happened in athletics this year, another kudo to the department, again in academic. These 5 teams, women's golf, men's golf, volleyball, women's cross country, and softball, all finished in the top 10% in the country for Division I teams in terms of their academic progress rating. This is a rating that has to do with the number of students that complete in 6 years and the number of students that remain academically eligible from year to year, complete the right number of credits, those sorts of things. It's on a 0 to 1,000 scale. And the NCAA for the last 12 years has named those teams that for their sport are in the top 10% or have a perfect score. And these 5 teams were all named to that. I want to take just a moment, though, to talk about volleyball. In the 12 years that this has been around, there have been 93 of the more than 3,000 NCAA Division I sports teams that have made that list every year in 12 years. There are no teams in Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, or Wisconsin that make that list. There is one team from Iowa, and they have had 12 years of perfect scores. And it's the UNI volleyball. Yeah, congratulations. Now, all of these things that I've talked about say an awful lot about our students, but they say an awful lot about you as faculty and staff and coaches and people that support these students. None of this level of success is achievable without your support. It's the support of the faculty in the classroom, outside of the classroom, in office hours. It's the support of Academic Learning Center and the Health Center, our custodial staff, our maintenance staff. Everyone on this campus provides these students with the opportunity to succeed. Their success is our success. You did this. You're applauding your work as well as theirs. They are outstanding individuals. but it's happened because of your dedication to them and to their future. So thank you for helping these achieve great things. A couple of the faculty and staff that have also been awarded honors this year. Now, this is really hard. There's a ton of things that go on this campus, so I have to just kind of pick a few out and talk about those. Melissa Beal of the communications faculty, professor of communications, was named the 2016 Donald Eckroat Award for Outstanding Teacher by the National Communications Association. It's an award that's given to one faculty member across the country every year. I looked down through those that have won it since 1988. Most of these are at Research One, research-intensive institutions. There's only 2 or 3 that are institutions that are more focused on the undergraduate teaching aspect, as we are. So it's a great honor for Melissa Beal to be named the Outstanding Teacher. Professor Dee Dee Heisted of the Department of French, but she's really our undergraduate studies director. And she has been named the Outstanding First-Year Student Advocate by the National Resource Center for First-Year Students and Students in Transition out of the University of South Carolina, a center that was created by John Gardner when he was there and created the first-year experience program there. But Dee Dee has done a great job of creating our undergraduate studies program, developing, managing, keeping it growing, peer mentoring programs, everything. So Dee Dee, congratulations on the Outstanding Advocate Award. We have a couple of faculty that have taken on some new things to do. Andrei Petrov, an associate professor in geography in the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences, has been named president of the International Arctic Social Science Association. As such, he'll hold that position until 2022. UNI becomes the lead institution for that organization. And it will get us quite a bit of press in Arctic research. It is a big topic. I mean, there aren't a lot of people up there, but there's a lot of people that study the cold regions of the world, and it is kind of a big deal. As you can see, Andrei is also the director of UNI's Arctic Center. If you're not familiar with that, that stands for the Arctic Research and Arctic Research Cold Territories Interdisciplinary Center. Right? But Andrei has stepped up to become the president. Congratulations on that election, and thank you for putting UNI in the spotlight in a very cold area. Okay? So, thanks, Andrei. Yeah, congratulations. Jeffrey Copeland, a few years ago, a professor in literatures and languages and literatures, wrote a book on Shelley versus Kramer. And Shelley was an African American in St. Louis and needed to buy a home for his family and went to a neighborhood where one was available that would fit his family, but it was a white neighborhood and there were covenants and he couldn't buy that home, and he had a ghost buyer buy it, and they found out and they raised the roof. And they were forcing him out, and a lawsuit ensued. Guess that worked. And it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Shelleys won. And it was that Supreme Court decision that removed race-based covenants in this country. Jeffrey wrote that book, and he was approached then by the Missouri Historical Society to make a documentary. And as he tells you, they put strict limits on him. They only gave him 20 minutes. And as a faculty member, I understand how hard 20 minutes is, as you'll find out soon. But he had to get this down to 20 minutes. He created a beautiful documentary that is playing at the Missouri Historical Center in St. Louis. Cheryl had a chance to see it down there. It has all this really neat UNI stuff at the beginning and UNI stuff at the end, and it's been running on a continuous loop with more than 500,000 people seeing it. Jeffrey also had a premiere here of that video and brought up some of the family members. You see him here with the granddaughter of Mr. and Mrs. Shelley, and they all spoke about this process. The documentary is one of the 2018 Sundance Film Festival documentaries. It is going to the Sundance Film Festival this late winter, spring. So congratulations to Jeffrey on an excellent documentary. We have a couple of Fulbright scholars this year, meaning from January through January. First, Elizabeth Leffler, Associate Professor of Psychology, is teaching in Krakow, Poland at Jagiellonian University, or taught there this past spring, is now back. And this fall, as we speak, Catherine McGilvray, Professor of Languages and Literatures and our Director of the Women's and Gender Studies program, is, and I'm glad she's not here, the Universidade Federal de Santa Catarina in Brazil. My Portuguese is non-existent, but she's there this fall teaching. The wonderful thing about these fellowships, these Fulbrights, is the opportunity not just to travel and to experience and to teach, but to bring back what you learned for our students and for our colleagues. Fulbright scholars are one of the great professional development opportunities that exist for faculty and staff members at universities. And so I highly recommend them and congratulate both of these women for going through the process and being selected as Fulbright scholars. Thank you. We have three programs that I want to talk about as far as engaging the community. We've looked a little bit at some of the great things that our students have done, some of them engaging our community, the way that some of our faculty have done great things here on our campus. We have some programs, though, and UNI as an institution was first formed really to serve kids, right? We were an orphanage for Civil War veterans' children. And out of that, we became a teachers' college that was all about helping kids. So here's three programs that two of them are new, that I want to just mention a little bit. The first of these is the Discover the Dream Partnership, and you can see them. That's the picture down here in the bottom left. It's a cohort this year of 24 rising sixth graders, and it's a partnership between the College of Education and the Waterloo School District, and our Chief Diversity Officer is very involved in this as well to get this program set up, and UNICU is very involved. All of these students had to attend UNICU's 5th grade Leadership Academy this summer, and then they will be involved also in the Upward Bound program at UNICU throughout their time period in this program. It'll go from 6th grade all the way until they graduate. They'll have mentors in their schools. So all the students that are in one school will have the same mentor working with them, and they'll continue to have mentors all the way through high school. This is an opportunity for us to develop amongst students who typically don't see college as an opportunity, whether that's here at UNI or at Hawkeye or at any institution throughout the country, opportunity to work with them and help them realize that college could be in their future. And these are primarily underserved students, minority students, low-income students, and first-generation students. An opportunity to really impact their lives. So thank you for helping develop this program. The UNI Minority Educators for Today and Tomorrow Summer Academy, upper right, is a project between the Waterloo School Districts, Marshalltown School Districts this year, and the College of Education. And it really is looking at the scarcity of minority teachers and educators that we have in this state, and how are we going to impact that? How can we get more role models from especially the minority community into teaching profession? The College of Education created an opportunity for these students to get together a couple of times. They presented their professional plan last spring. Had an opportunity to listen to them talk about, a few of them talk about what they want to do and how they want to get there, and they all had these little computer presentations built up. All of these are high school students from Marshalltown or Waterloo. Exciting to talk to young people who really are interested in becoming teachers and having an impact on other people like them in our high schools and grade schools and junior high. And finally, the Introduction to Robotics summer camp down here in the very bottom is a camp that we've had going on for some time, but I haven't been able to figure out find out how long, so someone here knows and will shout the number out. 5 years, thank you. I knew it. I knew someone would know. But this year, Insider Monkey, one of those most prestigious academic journals, has named, I don't really care whether they are or not, because they named us this program, one of the top 10 engineering summer camps in the country. Not bad for a university without an engineering department, right? We have some great engineering technology going on here. We don't really have a college of engineering or what one would think of as pure engineering programs. So this really is outstanding. It's a phenomenal program. We also had an opportunity to see the first robotics competition over in the gym, which isn't tied to this directly. But what a wonderful thing the university does in hosting that event as well in both the McLeod Center and in the Unidome. Watching these students perform and get their robots ready is a real treat, especially when it's the deaf and blind kids from the deaf and blind school here in the state. Campus Vitality, since February, we've dedicated 2 new renovated buildings. Two buildings newly renovated. One of those, the Schindler Education Center, was dedicated this spring. I have to tell you, I found out about this in early January. I was flying from Montana back here to Iowa to Des Moines so that I could participate in the opening of the legislative session. And I'm sitting in Denver waiting for my flight to come in, and there's young people there, and one of them has on a UNI cap. So I step out and say, "You guys from UNI?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "Where are you from?" And they're all from Muscatine, and they'd been out to a wedding in Reno, and they're on their way back. And I said, "Well, what are you looking forward most to?" I didn't tell them who I was. I like to play that game. But they then said, "Oh," one of them was an education major. She said, "Schindler opening up." I said, "Why?" I said, "Well," she said, "I won't be walking all over campus to different classes. All of my classes will finally be in the same place. And what I've heard is it's really cool in there." And then one of the boy that was in there, the young man that was in there said, "Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, but I'm a business major, but I have to walk from the towers, and I'm going to get coffee at Schindler and just study there," right? So it was a way to kind of get through the storm as he made the walk to Curris. But all 3 of them, only one of them was an education major, but they all were hyped up about the opening of Schindler, and none of them had been in it. And now that it's open, I think all of us know what a phenomenal job facilities did and the architect did and the builders did in renovating that building. It's so much more open. It's so much more pleasant to be in. So I wasn't ever in it before. Everybody tells me how great it is to be in this building compared to what it was. So yeah, congratulations to everybody on the opening of Schindler Education Center. The Lawther Hall, we just had the rededication a week ago. Residence hall that has been around since the 40s. They did a beautiful job in renovating this. Kudos to the Department of Residence for the layout, the plans, everything. My wife and I got to tour through that a little bit a couple weeks before the grand opening, just before students showed up. Suite style, great rooms. Cheryl actually and I went up into this room. It's up in the dormers, up in the corners there. The 5th floor is open, and they put some rooms up there in the dormers, amongst the dormers. They're all singles because they're a little bit too small. But we walked in here, and Cheryl goes, "Oh, I really like this. Got the vaulted ceilings and the little dormer stick-outs." And she goes, "I could live here." And I said, "Cheryl, it's a 1-bedroom. It's only for one." She goes, "Yeah, I know." I thought, okay. But just a great job. It's great to have Lawther open. Students are, again, excited to have it open, have the opportunity to live on campus in some suite-style spaces. Just a great redesign. We also have been honored in the last 2 years by the American Association of State Colleges and Universities. We've won 2 awards in their excellence and innovation area. Last year, in October, we went down and collected the Student Success and College Completion Award for our course-embedded mentoring program. This program is embedded inside our liberal arts core, and we take a few of those courses, and we have students that completed it last year come back and be mentors in that core, peer mentors to students that are in it. What we're finding is that those sections and those students that sign up for them have about a 6 to 8 percentage point higher retention rate than students who go through courses that aren't populated by peer mentors. So it's obviously a program that's working very, very well. This year, this summer, we were notified, and in October we'll pick up the Regional Economic Development Award, and that's for our Regional Entrepreneurship Project, which is underneath the Institute for Decision Making inside Business and Community Services. This program has worked with 17 counties in 5 economically depressed regions in the state. And in doing so, they've found partnerships between businesses and communities, chambers of commerce, economic development authorities, high schools, grade schools, and community colleges in the area. And they've created more than 180 new jobs, 46 new businesses, and almost $7 million in economic development in those 17 counties. Phenomenal job in pulling this together. And so we're being recognized. Askew has only given these awards out for 2 years. We've won them each of 2 years, so we're batting 1,000 right now. I'm kind of happy with that. Somebody's got to get a project next year, so start thinking about it. So those are our successes. Those are the things that we have done. It's clear that this is an extremely vital campus. We've got a lot of things going on. Our students are winning awards. They're doing great things in the community, in the classroom, on the court and field and mat and pool, in the theater, in the performance halls, in lecture halls, in research labs. Just phenomenal, phenomenal university. But we do face some challenges.